Oh boy. It's very late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, any way you look at it. The big NCAA tournament is in full swing at this point, and I've done some major enhancements and updates to the master bracket for everybody out there who's using one of the Excel spraps that I sent out to run this pool. It made things a lot easier and really put a lot of code into this to make this thing incredible at this point. So here's what's going on. This is the new bracket sprap. I don't have a download link in this video because you need to contact me if you need this thing because it's huge and we need to go over a lot of things. But here's basically what happened. A lot of people were asking me. I've been getting a huge response this year, and everyone's asking me, how can you give me a table showing possible points for everybody in the future? How can you show me what teams everybody has in the games that are to come so I can see who might win and who I should root for and all those things? Taken care of. It's all in here. I'll show you how it works. First of all, what you're looking at right now is you're looking at the current master bracket, current everything set the way it is right now. All the teams that have won are picked. For example, Kentucky beat Iowa State today. University of Indiana Bloomington beat VCU. Baylor beat Colorado Boulder. And you can see there's still some games here in round 2 that have to be played. And we'll fill those in as all these tomorrow. A lot of these are going to happen on Sunday. If you are doing this by hand right now, stop. Even though the worst rounds are behind you, stop. Enter this stuff into a sheet like this. It's going to save you a ton of time and let you run simulations. Here's how it works. What I've done is I've moved all the entries into one thing called the all data sheet over here. The all data sheet has every entrant and all their picks, and their picks come in a vertical list like this. I'll show you what one of the entry sheets looks like. If you haven't seen it before, I will put a link to the blank entry sheet in this video. It looks like this. This is one of the people who sent one in for my master bracket. I've renamed it myself because I'm going to show you how you input this in. But this is the master or the blank entry sheet. Fill this sucker out, and all the results and the person's name pop out over here. Now what we have to do is you grab all the teams, starting right below the name. Grab all the teams and the total points. You right-click, copy this area right here. You go into the new master bracket, and this. You can see that there's different entrants here. There's entrant number 13, entrant number 14. This is a new entrant. Right here under entry picks, you right click, you paste special, got to be paste special, and you got to do values. And all of a sudden that person's picks are going to be populated right here. And you'd want to put the person's name. In this case it's Kenny B, it's me. And I have a group because I have a bunch of groups of people who are sending in a bunch of brackets that are in their pool and their group. So if there's a group name, which you probably won't have, I'll call it group Kenstock because it's me. You take these 2 bits of information and you copy them down as far as the picks go, right all the way down to the total points. Boom, paste. I just did Control V. I did paste, and you're done. You're done. What does this mean? What does this do? Well, there's a new standings table, and it's a pivot table. Pivot tables are really interesting. Pivot tables are one of the most just versatile tools for showing information and generating reports. They're going to be over here in what's called the pivot standings sheet. Click this. First thing you need to know about pivot tables, it's kind of its own little area. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. I'll get into how this works. But in the pivot table, anytime you update your source data, in this case the source data is all this stuff on the all data sheet that I just pasted in a new entry for Kenny B. If you do anything and you need to update your table, you have to click anywhere inside the table. You have to right click inside the table somewhere, and there's a refresh option. And by the way, this is only going to work well in Excel 2007 or 2010. If you got older than Excel 2007, you're probably out of luck, or you need to get a newer version. It's going to be too big for you. So 2007, 2010. So you refresh, boom. When you refresh, all of a sudden, look at that. Kenny B just got thrown into this mix here. And I know that this is right because I copied that bracket right off of Elliot Taylor just to do this as a test. And you can see these are all the same. Now, what are we looking at? We are looking at all the different people that I have in my master bracket so far. And I'm sending out an email to all the people who are using this thing, and I'm going to get several hundred, if not thousands, of more entrants. I'm going to be adding to this over the next week or so, and really have a huge tournament going. But as for right now, I think there's 14 people. We can look back at our all data sheet. Yeah, 14 entrants so far. And here's what we're seeing. We're seeing everybody's name, their entry number, 1 through 14 so far. The group that they're in. You can see that Mr. Shamarum, don't know how to say it, but he sent me a bunch of brackets, and I've added his people in, and then I have one of my friends, and I have myself right now. That's in the Kenstock bracket. This entry picks thing, I'll show that later, what that means. We'll do it right now. But here is the current standings. Here are the current standings. You have current points that people have received so far, which this is sorted by descending. So Daryl is in the lead. These are the possible points remaining. There's some really complex code I wrote to calculate this stuff appropriately. So this is the most that these people have remaining, and this is therefore their total possible points if they were to get everything else right all the way through. This would be their total possible points that they could get. Now, we have many different ways of sorting this pivot table. For example, right now we're sorting by current points. Say we wanted to sort by total possible points to see really who has the potential to have the most points based on what's left. You click this arrow here under name, because name is the first field. And I'll get into row labels and what all this stuff means, but name is the first thing we're sorting by. Under more sort options, when you click that arrow next to name, you can sort descending by many different types of things. You can sort by current points, which is what we're sorting by right now. You could sort by possible points remaining or total possible points. Let's do total possible points, descending, and then press OK. What that's going to show is that actually, even though Daryl, as you can see, is in the lead with 38 points, Kenny B and Elliot, it's really Elliot's bracket, that's fake for me, Kenny B and Elliot have the most possible points in this tournament. So that's kind of a way of looking at them, and if you were making odds on who's going to win, these people have a pretty good chance. In a lot of ways, even more of a chance than the person who's already got 38 points over their 35, because they have some teams that apparently haven't been knocked out yet throughout the further ends of the bracket. So there's many different ways we can sort this. That's just one thing. Let's go back to sorting by current points. Okay, so this gives you your snapshot of everybody, and this is what people want to see. Now, breaking things down. Right now, you can see up here I've got a couple filters. These are filters on this table which allow us to just look at certain segments of information that we want to see. For example, in the master bracket right now, you can see that round 2, Saturday over to Sunday night right now, that round 2 is not yet complete. There are round 2 matches that are still going. Well, here's an interesting thing to do. If you go up here and you click this arrow where it says round 2, you can choose just a round that you want to look at, right? So what is that going to look like? Watch, let's look at round 2, which is the current round that's going on. You just click the 2. You click the 2 and you press OK. And here's what you're seeing. You are seeing the current points that these people have earned in round 2. So far, Daryl has earned 16 in round 2 compared to just 14 for Mary Jo and Doug and the other people below. These are the possible points remaining. This is kind of interesting. Look at this. This person only has 10. Corey has 10, yet he has 14 possible points remaining, which seems to be more than anybody else. And it's interesting. It's just interesting to look at. So you can do this for round 2. You can say, all right, let's go into round 3 and see what things might look like in round 3. Nobody has any points in round 3 yet because round 3 games haven't begun yet, but here are the lists of people and how many points they could possibly get in round 3 based on their picks that they already have. You can then sort this by possible points remaining, and look, you can see that Kenny B and Elliot have the best shot so far in round 3 as we go. To release these filters and show everything again, you just click that arrow and you click all, and that'll work. Right? Okay. So pretty cool stuff. There's even more. There's much more. What we have, the thing about this bracket that makes it so easy and why people love it and why it saves so much time is that you only do one update for the game and everybody else's scores automatically update. For example, you look at the Xavier Lehigh game. if we choose one of these teams, whoever wins tomorrow, let's say Lehigh wins. I don't think anyone's going to have Lehigh because Lehigh was a huge upset against Duke. But let's say Xavier wins, right? You click Xavier. All you have to do is go to your pivot table. Like I said before, right-click anywhere inside of that table and press refresh. Let's keep an eye on what changes right now. You've got, let's see, refresh. I don't know if much changed. I don't know if anybody had that. But start doing some, having some fun and go down the list and really do some simulations if you want to. We're blowing it around 3, round 4 here, just having some fun, and then go back and let's sort this thing by current points, descending, and then you gotta refresh still. Boom. Look at that. If whatever I just did happened, Kenny and Elliott are going to be in the lead. Of course it didn't. So let's go back and let's fix it back. This game hasn't happened yet. This game hasn't happened yet. This game hasn't happened yet. And the Xavier game hasn't happened yet. And then we go back and we refresh, and you're going to see things the way they were. And that's the case. So you can run simulations, but let's go game by game because that's kind of what people really want to do. And this is where the entry picks thing is going to come into play, and you're going to see how this looks. In the master bracket, every single one of these boxes is a game. There's 63 unique games in the 64-team tournament, as well as when you pick the total points right down here at the end, which is kind of like a 64th element to this. But there's 63 games. Now, if you look up at the top part of the screen here, right here, where it says _G something, that is referencing what game this box represents. See how there, this box, it says it's G50. The Xavier game is G36. Here's the Michigan State SLU game, which is number 37. Let's say that we want to know who we should be rooting for in game 37. So that's G37, game 37. Go to the final standings page. Up here in this game section, up here in the filter area, we have this thing called the game. That's going to match the game that we were just talking about. Game 37, right? Let's find game 37 here. Click 37, press OK. And now that you've done that, this is only showing information for game 37 for all these people. What we want to do now is we want to do something called expand collapse so that we can look at relevant information. You go to this group area and click on any one of these cells here in the group, and you right click and you're going to see an option that says expand collapse. You're going to hit the expand collapse arrow there, and then you're going to go to expand entire field, and that's going to show everybody's picks for the game. Boom. Everybody has Michigan State. Wow. How funny is that? So it doesn't matter who wins that game. Let's look at one of the other games and see what else we've got. How about Florida and Norfolk, which happens to be game 40. So let's go back here. Let's change the game we're looking at, and let's go look at game 40. Alrighty. Game 40, most people have Missouri, one person has Florida. Now this will get kind of interesting later on as we get deeper into the tournament. Like, you look at, say, all right, well, how about for the championship, right? That's game number 63. What's the distribution of that? What does everybody have for the 63rd game? And you click 63. And you see that there's a distribution. Kentucky, Michigan State, UNC, Missouri, Kentucky, UNC, Ohio State. Really cool, really helpful when you're analyzing what you want to have happen. Now, here's unfortunately what happens if you show all the games again and you still have this expanded. We did that expand collapse. We show all the entry picks. It's going to explode down because it's going to have everybody's picks across every game, and we don't want that. So what you need to do to get rid of that is click back on the cell over here in the group, expand collapse, and this time you want to collapse the entire field. Collapsing the entire field is going to shrink it back so it's easier to look at, and you can see your snapshots of what's going on. So yeah, there's a ton of functionality in here. If you want me to convert your current master bracket to this, it's going to involve, for those of you who've seen the old videos, it's going to involve taking all the information from all the vertical columns of team entry picks that were given out in the old sheet and that were pasted in the old master bracket sheet. It's going to convert them, and you're going to put them here one on top of the other. That's all I'm going to do. And I can do it really fast, but or you can do it yourself if you want to. Let me know. But it will make your life a heck of a lot easier. If you are killing yourself doing this right now, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it one simple paste, get everybody done, and be done with it. So this pivot table can do a ton of different things. I'm probably going to post some more videos in the future showing the different capabilities and what you can show, and there's ways you can line up names and teams and look at specific games in an even better way. And there's all these different sort options, and there's just the possibilities are endless. So really the only pick that I have here is Rocky. He's my buddy, because Kenny's not a real pick. If you need to delete an entrant, it's very easy to do. Go back to the data sheet, and really entry number 14 is just all this information. So we go up until we see entry number 13. This is where the changeover was, and you just clear contents on all this stuff, and that entry is going to go away. And then when you refresh, keep an eye on Kenny B right there. Kenny B's going to disappear. Boop, Kenny's gone. And it's that easy. It's that easy. So let me know if you want to change up your master brackets. Send me an email or give me a call. Now's the time. Now is the time, so you don't have to go crazy. Still the same point structure over here. We can still change the points, and they filter through and change everything appropriately. But this was worth a couple hours messing around and coding this, because this is pretty cool. I had not done this last year, and I'm glad I finally did it because so many people were asking. So let's get it out there and make everybody's life easier. There you go. It's Ken Stocks Wrap. Enjoy it.